Welcome back to Late Night. We're here with Joel Edgerton. Obviously, this is a television show, but as the clip would prove to anybody or anyone who's watched it, it's so beautifully cinematic. Did you even feel like you were making a TV show, or did it just feel like a big, long movie?
It felt like, with Barry Jenkins at the helm and James Laxton shooting it, that it was like a 10-hour movie that we were making.
Did you, obviously you play
Sure.
a bad guy in this film, but yet I heard it was a role that you sort of talked to Barry about wanting. Do you like the challenge of playing a villain?
Look, for years I've been running around saying I really, want to play villains, and I don't necessarily think I'm any good at it. But, the idea as an actor is that it's always going to be more fun to play a villain. And I heard about this project and basically stalked Barry about it. And then I read the book, and it's so, the character I play anyway, not necessarily the show in its entirety, but the character I play is so evil and dark that I started to go, was this the right, should I have stalked him before understanding what the material was? Because it's a pretty heavy character.
Barry is a film director. You're also a film director, yet you sort of went up and introduced yourself to Barry with hopes of getting cast. Does that work with you? Do people ever sidle up to Joel Edgerton and say they want to do your next project?
I like ambitious people, you know what I mean? Like there's a time and a place for it. I don't know that I picked the right time and place, like an evening event in Toronto, a couple of maybe vodkas under my belt. But, passion and ambition, I think are great traits. And, it's good to put yourself in a vulnerable position and tell someone that you really like their work. And, you've got to give it a crack. Crikey.
Do you feel like, as someone who does, both direct and act, do you feel like when you work with different directors you respect, you're always sort of taking things with you for the next time you go behind the camera?
Yeah. I think being on set is like a place to learn from as an actor, I learn from directors I work with. As an actor, I learn from other actors I work with. And for example, in this show, I think it's also important to understand that you can learn from children. I have this incredible relationship in the show with a young actor called Chase W. Dillon, who plays Homer. And you can learn a lot from children. I mean, if you keep your eyes and your ears open, you can steal from anybody.
Coulson Whitehead, who's Coulson has been on our show, and obviously is brilliant. And I know from Barry, he visited set. What's it like when someone who creates this source material comes on while you're doing the adaptation?
When Coulson came on set, it was for me, it felt like the CEO had entered the building. There was an incredible amount of respect, appreciation for what he'd created that allowed us all, hundreds of people, to be there, and a desire to want him to feel good about everything, like the sets, the costume, and particularly for me, I'm like, do I feel the shoes of the character that you created in your own private space? So it felt like, a good, cool CEO had entered the building.
All right, now I need to ask you this just because I know you're back in Australia. How long has it been since you were at the beach?
2 days.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I go for a swim or a surf most days, but I've been a little bit busy lately. Yeah. And
Fatherhood will do that. It'll take away it'll cut into your beach time.
It's about 3 minutes that way on foot. And I have a garage full of surfboards. Listen, man, we're very lucky here in Australia.
Yeah.
We're able to move around. The country's handled it very well. And we feel very blessed. And for that reason, we're allowed to go and mingle at the beach and go to restaurants and stuff. So, we're very lucky.
Well, I'm very happy to hear that. Please continue to enjoy it all safely. Congrats again on fatherhood. And it's always so nice to see you, buddy.
You too, mate. It's always good to see you. Thank you. Thank you.
You're very welcome. The Underground Railroad is now streaming on Amazon Prime Video.